What's up, guys? It's Professor Gnome, and we're going to be playing some Blastoise EX today. I've been working on this deck for a little bit. I think it's a lot of fun. We're going to be pairing it alongside Palkia V and VSTAR, along with Radiant Greninja. I tried to play the Radiant Blastoise with it and keep it really thematic, but unfortunately, Radiant Greninja is just objectively better in every scenario. We're also going to be pairing that with Bidoof and Bibarel in order to get some draw going in the later stages of the game, trying to set it up as early as possible. One of the things that made this deck a little bit better since the release of 151, where I've been trying to make Blastoise work, but unfortunately it was just kind of always a little bit underwhelming. Some of the things that made it a little bit better, and you'll be seeing this a lot lately, is that Earthen Vessel just really unlocked a lot of possibilities for this deck. Being able to get into your energies when you need them easier is always really good. One of the things that we're doing as well is we're going to play 2 Raihan, and we're going to play that alongside Irida. The reason for this is that once our original Blastoise gets knocked out, or, you know, our Palkia or Greninja or whatever it is, we want to be able to take the energy from the discard, reattach it, and place one from the hand, so that way we can always have a Blastoise ready to go and get ourselves whatever other card we're missing or needing. That's always super important. And then Irida in order to grab ourselves our Blastoise or our Palkias and our like rare candies or our Earthen Vessels, whatever other item we're looking for. So the two of those together in this deck are really, really powerful. Obviously, we want to run one Iono just in case that we need it, and it's always really good to set our opponents back. And the boss's orders is also always very important, being able to pull something off the back and deal with that. We also run Cleansing Gloves, and we run one copy of this, mostly for the Gardevoir matchup, so that way we're able to boss up the Gardevoir EX, get that dealt with, and knock it out in one hit. And also we're able to knock out MEW VMAX when that comes up in one hit as well. The other strategy I've gone for with this deck is we're actually going to play Lake Acuity. I think that's how you're supposed to pronounce it. What this does is that all the Pokemon that have water or fighting energy attached to them deal or take 20 less damage. This is really important because thanks to Blastoise's ability, Solid Shell, it takes 30 less damage from attacks. So in combination, we're taking 50 less damage, and that actually makes a huge difference a lot of the time with getting two-shotted or like dealing with a lot of other matchups that, like, it helps us with Gardevoir because hitting the damage threshold to one-shot us becomes really, really difficult, almost impossible. And it helps us actually deal with Charizard EX, making it so they can't knock us out in one hit. And as long as we get the first attack off, then we plus trade the whole time. Which is really, really good for us and really important. Because Blastoise can hit 280, but sometimes it's either... The weird thing about hitting 280 is that you're either hitting for more damage than you need or slightly not enough, is what ends up happening a lot of the time, which is a little bit unfortunate. And water doesn't really hit anything super important for weakness right now, so that's the thing, like, mainly holding the deck back. But I actually think it's pretty good, and I would rate it as like a kind of solid rogue strategy, and definitely something to test out. So yeah, we'll get into the games. Definitely let me know what you think of the deck. Let me know what you would change or how you're running it if you are. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the games. Peace. Alright, so we're into the game. We're going to be going first. I think going first with this deck is typically better. In this situation, it's going to be a little awkward. Hopefully we can get into something that grabs us like our Bidoof. Oh. Are they playing United Wings? That's hype. Alright, well... Alright, so we got ourselves a Squirtle. That's at least something. Typically, though, the reason why we want to be going first with this deck is that we have a lot of pieces that we're going to need to set up. And normally it's a little bit more beneficial for us. We'll get rid of the Lake Acuity for now. We'll find another one later. Grab ourselves 2 more energy. And we'll throw one down onto... Let's just get our one down onto our Squirtle for now. We can always use VSTAR, our Palkia VSTAR to attach everything to Greninja later. But typically what we want to be able to do is get like a Bidoof and our Squirtle, like get our basics down, and then go from there with like an Irida on our second turn to grab ourselves our rare candy and start evolving. Unfortunately, we didn't draw into that, but it kind of depends on how this game goes. We're not in a terrible position. And we'll see what they grab off this. United Wings is interesting. I haven't seen anybody really play it in a while. It's definitely a deck I would have fun covering again. Like I said, I haven't seen it in a while. So I'm curious to see if anyone, or like if this person like has made any alterations to the deck. I feel like, oh, are they not playing United Wings? Because I didn't think United Wings played Curlia. Or what are they playing? Now I'm confused. I feel like holding on to the collapsed stadium would have been better. There's the other Flamingo. Or Flamigo. Okay, so it looks like this is what they are playing. It's just awkward, I guess. Maybe they're just playing kind of like a different build, potentially. Yeah, it's interesting. All right, well, on the upside, we're going to be able to play... We're going to be able to play our rare candy. And from here, what we'll be able to do is just attach, switch, go into Blastoise, and we'll just kind of hang out here. Unfortunately, we can't get our attack off, which is a little underwhelming. But there's no way that they knock out Blastoise, and we can kind of just wait until we draw, is really what's going to end up happening here. This is kind of the main thing that's holding Blastoise back, is like situations like this you can find yourself in like semi-often, and it's a little bit unfortunate. Where it's like, if I had an Earthen Vessel right now, that would like kind of solve my problem, but I'm kind of just stuck temporarily. Where like, again, like this is where like, had we gotten knocked out, or like if our Greninja had gotten knocked out, it would have been fine, because then we can just Raihan, you know, and gotten ourselves everything that we needed. But now we're in an awkward kind of position since they didn't knock us out. But at this point it's fine, because I kind of want to be able to preserve the Radiant Greninja anyway. Kind of hold on to it for a little bit, use it later if we need to. There's another situation where like getting the Bidoofs down would have been nice, but our opening hand was kind of limiting. And thanks to the damage reduction, we're only taking 50 damage. So we can kind of sit here for a little while. We'll play down the Lumineon. And I think the best play is just to grab ourselves an Irida. So we can Irida here, grab ourselves the VSTAR that we wanted, and we'll grab ourselves an Earthen Vessel. We'll lay down our Palkia. Well, Earthen Vessel. At this point, we'll just get rid of the Pal Pad for now. I'm debating if I want to get rid of the Bibarel, because it, like, at this point, I'm not really drawing into one, I'm not really finding another one, so it just kind of is what it is. We'll get rid of one, draw. Alright, but so, like, that was the reason why I didn't want to get rid of it. Because it was just going to be more beneficial to be able to hold on to it. So we'll discard, and now we're going to look for, like, an escape rope or something. And then once we find, like, an escape rope, that'll be good for us. We'll be able to go into Greninja, use our VSTAR power, take 2 more prize cards, look for a boss in order to knock out the Squawkabilly, and kind of end the game there. I really don't think that running Kirlia with this deck is worth it. I feel like you're just kind of taking away from one of the things that's good about your deck. But I don't know. Like I see the benefit of being able to like discard and still like keep drawing, especially because you want your United Wings cards in the discard pile, but I really don't think running, especially so many of them, like what is that, 3 Kirlia? I feel like just running like 1 or 2 is fine if that's what you're gonna end up doing. And then I really don't agree with running like the Team Yell cheer. I don't really think that's super good. I mean, I guess it's fine to get your supporters back, but I don't know. It could be good, but I just don't really feel like it is. Alright, there's the Kilowattrel, or the Wattrel, or whatever. Wattrel's kind of going to be a little bit annoying, just because it's going to hit us for weakness, so we probably want to like knock those out as soon as possible. We'll go back into our Blastoise here. And then what I think we want to do is we're actually going to attach one onto the Palkia. And we're going to Super Rod. And the reason why we want to do that is that way we can go ahead, Super Rod our Greninja back into the deck. So we can find that, get that powered up later. And from here, we'll kind of just chill out. We don't have much we need to really do. We can... Oh, I'm an idiot. I should have played the Bibarel down. Wasn't really thinking. Yeah, that's on me. I probably could have just found the other energy I needed and knocked this out. But we're not in really, like I said, much of a threat of anything. The only main problem here is this Wattrel. But we're going to be able to bring in our Palkia, lay down our Bibarel, knock this out, back, go for the Iono, knock it out, and kind of play from there. So it's not that big a deal for us, all things considered. It's like slightly annoying, but we'll be fine, because we're in a position now where once we do get our Greninja back into play, we can use Greninja, take 2 prizes, and then all we got to do is find our boss to knock out the Squawkabilly. So any single individual knockout before then, like, all serves the same purpose. The other thing I will say that's kind of hurting this deck is the electric weakness because of the, like, how common things like Miraidon is in the meta right now. It definitely makes, like, this matchup, or not this matchup in particular, but the Miraidon matchup, like, a little bit finicky. But you can kind of get around it by, like, same thing, like manipulating Greninja. And then, like, if you're able to stay up in prizes, you can keep a low bench so, like, Raikou can't knock you out. You have a high enough health pool, especially with your Stadium down, that, like, an Iron Hands doesn't knock you out even under, like, weakness. So you can kind of get by, and you one-shot everything. So as long as you stay up in the prize trade, like, you go Blastoise into, like, Miraidon or whatever they have in the active, they knock you out, you go Palkia, knock them back out as you set up your last Blastoise, then, like, you're typically fine. But you just have to, like, play the pattern correctly. Kind of waiting for them to finish their turn here. If they have the double colorless, they definitely have enough to knock us out. At least they should. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, they didn't have the double colorless. Okay. I mean, that works for me. So we'll place that down. I kind of want to just Iono them. I feel like that's kind of beneficial. So we'll place this down. For now, we'll go ahead and Iono. kind of reset their hand here a little bit. We'll go ahead and Nest Ball out the Greninja. That'll set up our play for the next turn. Then we'll draw once with a barrel just to see what we get. There's an Irida, that's pretty cool. We no longer really need this. We won't need the Blastoise anymore from this point going forward. So we'll just go ahead and grab... we'll just grab one for now, because we're about to discard it anyway. So we'll discard. We just want to make sure that we could have grabbed two and used concealed cards just to like draw ourselves some extra stuff, but we don't really need to. It's not going to make much of a difference for us, because they're going to need to play down the other Wattrel that was already in their hand, so they can search it out. They're going to need to retreat it, get the double colorless down onto it, and like, yeah, we're in the exact position that I talked about before, where their double colorless is down. They can switch, knock out our Blastoise. They go down to 3 prize cards. We bring in Greninja, use our VSTAR power, knock out the Wattrel and Acuria. And then from there, we can just go into Palkia to knock out the Squawkabilly. So we're pretty much fine. Originally, I was going to knock out the 2 Ralts, but it actually just makes more sense to knock out like the Flamingo and Wattrel. I feel like this deck, like the United Wings, kind of just got like, not like power crap, but like in a way like semi power crapped out of the game. Like it was a really, really fun kind of rogue deck like earlier in the format. But I feel like if it got one more card, like one more United Wings card, it would be so good. But it's like, it just needs that one more card. And I wish like we got to know what, or not got to know, but like I would love to just see what that next card could be. Alright, so we're gonna go Greninja here. And then for here, we'll Lake, just to help ourselves out a little bit later. We'll Star Portal. 1, 2, and 3. We already have everything set up that we need. We have the catcher online. So if we really wanted, what we could do is catcher now. Go into that, retreat Palkia, but I don't actually think that's the best play we can make. I think we just want to go ahead. We'll drop a Squirtle, and we'll grab ourselves the Energy Retrieval for now. We'll Squirtle, Energy Retrieval, grab ourselves 2. Manually attach onto the Squirtle in case it becomes relevant later. We can discard the energy. There's our... we don't really need this. We can play this down. We can go ahead and Industrial Incisors. Cool. And then from here, what we're going to do is Moonlight Shuriken. We'll knock out the Wattrel to get rid of the thing that's going to do weakness damage to us, and we'll knock out one of the Ralts. It'd be nice to knock out the Flamingo, but unfortunately, we only hit for 90, so we can't. But we do get to take these 2 prize cards. There's our boss's orders. Really nice that we found that in the prizes. So next turn, what we can do is just go ahead and knock out the Squawkabilly. If they play anything else down, it's not really that big of a deal. What we'll be able to do, or like if they don't knock out the Greninja, we can just manually retreat, go into it. If they Wattrel, double colorless energy, and then like pull this out somehow, then like we could be in a minor situation. But it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do that anyway. There's a Ditto. So it looks like the best they can do is knock out this. They don't have a boss's orders or anything like that in order to get into our Palkia. So we're pretty much good to go. And they're filling up their bench, just making it more powerful. And just guaranteeing us the knockout here. Definitely a little bit of like a awkward start, but it all kind of worked out in the end. Yeah, like that's the thing holding this deck back so much. Like it only hit for 160 and they have everything. Like they have like their whole deck in the discard pile. Now part of that is also because of the fact that like they're running so many extra things like the Ditto, the Manaphy, you know, all that extra stuff. But it's definitely not really worth it. You know, and granted, our Lake is taking off a little bit of that damage, but even still, that was, like, no damage. And that's, like, the main thing holding this deck back, is, like, you have to run all your United Wings cards, and it doesn't really leave you with much space to be able to do anything else, which is unfortunate, because they just need one more card, and it would be really, really good. It's so weird that Victory is always cut off up here. I don't know why. But yeah, that's going to be game 1, guys. I'll see you in game 2. And, alright. Alright, we're into the game. We're going to be going first. That's not too bad for us. We'll be placing double Squirtle down, Palkia, and then we have the Irida for the rare candy. And our Blastoise on the next turn. We're against Gimmighoul. Or, you know, not really Gimmighoul, but more Gholdengo. That's actually not bad for us. They're going to have to go wide, which is pretty nice. It's going to take a lot of energies for them to be able to knock out our Squirtles, or not our Squirtles, but like our Blastoise, rather. And if our Stadium card's in play, then that pretty much nullifies one full energy. So it's going to take them a lot. We also one-shot them back with Blastoise, which is going to be really, really good for us as well. We can potentially get into our Greninja and knock out extra Gimmighoul placements. That's going to be a possibility. So this matchup seems like it won't be too bad for us. Obviously, they can climb over Blastoise, but it will definitely take them a bit to do it. And then same thing, like Palkia is going to be pretty reliable in this matchup. There's our VSTAR, that's pretty nice. We'll go ahead and grab our Blastoise and the rare candy. So we got that set up. Perfect. Gonna pop that on the active. We can place 1. Evolve and discard 1, knock out the Gimmighoul with the energy attached, and then next turn what we're going to do is we can Irida, grab ourselves a let's see what we get off our prize card. Alright, another Blastoise. So what we can do with the Irida on the next turn is we're going to grab ourselves Greninja and an Earthen Vessel. We'll discard whatever our top card is from the unless it's like super important, but probably won't be. So what we can do is we can Irida, Earthen Vessel, grab ourselves 2 more energies. We'll grab ourselves Greninja. If we need both to knock out like a Gholdengo that he puts in the active, then cool, we'll just do that. Knock out both, get those in the discard pile. Which is going to look like we're going to be able to do. If not, then we can always, like, if he switches into the Ralts or something like that, then we just conceal cards 1 of the energies away, draw ourselves some more cards, and kind of get rocking. But it looks like we're going to be able to just knock out this Gholdengo right away. There's a superior energy retrieval. They got themselves 4 energy, that's 200 damage. 150 if they discard their entire hand. They can make it rain. Yeah, so that's 150, but minus 30 because we're the ultimate tank, and this game is now over. Yep, and there's the concede. All right, so that's 2 games. We'll do one more. That one was kind of very quick. They didn't really have the greatest hand, but that matchup's going to be really, really good for us anyway. But yeah, we'll do one more after this. So I'll see you guys in game. All right, we're into the game. Our opponent will be going first. So we got an interesting little opening here. Got ourselves a Bidoof. They're going to mulligan here. Pokemon Catcher. Friends of Hisuian. So they're playing Charizard. Wow, oh my god. Jesus. So 6 mulligans. That's interesting. We'll take them all just for fun. We didn't actually draw anything that cool out of that. That's actually kind of depressing. That's crazy. 6 mulligans. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Epic Adam, buddy, you got some bad luck. Playing with Great Balls? What is this deck? It's like, it's Charizard EX, but like with 2 Arcanines in it. Is like what it looks like. Super weird. So we'll Nest Ball here. We don't have our Greninjas or our Lumineon. That's interesting. Kind of annoying. Not even gonna lie to you. All right, so for now we'll just kind of hold on to this stuff. We'll Ultra Ball in the next turn probably. I just don't want to use my item or like my cards that I can't actually really use yet. And then just end up getting, you know, Iono'd or something. I'm so confused. Man, sometimes the ladder is so odd. Alright, so we'll play that down. We'll Irida, grab ourselves the Palkia V, and we'll grab ourselves the rare candy. Yeah, we'll rare candy. Go Blastoise there. Then we'll Palkia V. And then we'll Ultra Ball this and the Escape Rope. Grab ourselves Bibarel. We'll place Bibarel down. Hit the switch just to get more cards out of our hand. And Bibarel, look for a single energy. Wow, we didn't find it. That's insane. Let's get another Palkia set up, I guess. Why not? It's mind-blowing to me. We didn't find a single energy out of that. Alright, whatever. I guess they live another day. There's an Avery. It's fine. We'll just get rid of the extra Palkia we didn't really care about anyway. They play the Nest Ball. I'm so curious. So it's just Charizard EX, but they also have Arcanine. I guess that's cool. The benefit here is that alright, so this is why playing the stadium card in this matchup is so good, because what it's going to allow us to do, we'll grab another Blastoise for later, and then let's grab ourselves an Earthen Vessel. What's going to allow us to do is live situations where we wouldn't normally. We'll get rid of the Superior Energy Retrieval for now. Grab 2 energies. And then we'll just discard 2 for a Twin Cannon. Deal 120. And so, because we're taking 50 less damage. Right? So we're in a situation where, like, typically, if they hit us for 180, we'd hit them back, not be able to KO them. They hit us back, and then we get knocked out, and that kind of sucks. But now we're in a situation where, thanks to our ability and the stadium, even if they hit us for 180 here, we'll be totally fine. Or, for 130. But in this case, so it's like we're still fine, right? But even if they cleared the stadium and did an additional, 20 damage to us, or even an additional 30 or whatever, we'd be totally fine. Like, we're still living here with about nearly 100 HP. So now we get our energies back. And all we have to do now is we can just discard one. Knock out the Charizard. Bam, we're in a great position. We have 2 prizes to take. There's our Lumineon and our Greninja. So that's super good for us. This game was a little bit awkward because obviously drawing that many cards off a mulligan is not ideal for my opponent. And it also doesn't really look like they're really making the most of their deck. But none of the cards that we really drew mattered all that much, if we're being all, 100% honest. So, alright, so here's what they can do. So they got that in play. They can play down their Arcanine, knock out our Blastoise. That could be good for them. But it's not going to really matter. Because, alright, so they're going to do the damage there. But then we go Squirtle. And this is why Raihan is so good. So we can go Raihan here. Place that down. Attach an energy manually to Squirtle. Then what we can do is grab ourselves another rare candy. Then we just rare candy our Blastoise into play. And then what we can do, so we'll go ahead and place the Radiant Greninja down, discard the energy, get ourselves 2 more cards. We'll play down another Squirtle just to get that ready for next turn. We can get rid of this and this because we no longer need those. Draw ourselves 3 energies. We'll attach 1 manually, so everything's already all the way powered back up. We'll draw with our Bibarel just because there's no reason not to. And then we can go ahead and attack here. We actually only need to discard 1 because we hit for weakness. So, boom, that's knocked out. Perfect. We'll take 2 more prizes. And we got everything we need to make more energies. So it's like another situation where it's like, alright, cool, he can rare candy, go into Charizard. He's not going to be able to knock us out in 1 hit. What does that do? That's pretty cool. He's not going to be able to knock us out in 1 hit anyway. But even if he could, he goes into Charizard here, attacks us. We attack back, he knocks us out. We go Raihan on our other Squirtle. Make a new Blastoise and finish it off. So we're in a great position here. I wouldn't say this game was the highest quality on our opponent's side. Their deck definitely has some things I don't agree with. They're not running the most optimal version, but maybe they just really want it to be able to play with Arcanine, and I don't blame them. The card's pretty cool. So here's what we'll do. We'll Earthen Vessel, get rid of the Cleansing Gloves. We'll close out the game here. Grab ourselves 2 more energy. Then we'll Lumineon, get ourselves a boss, and we'll just knock out the Pidgeot. Which is pretty much the way to play around Charizard right now with this deck, is the things that you already saw, like being able to use the stadiums and stuff like that, in order to take out one of the Charizards. Then you look to pull up a Pidgeot, just doing it this way, since we do the perfect damage numbers to knock out Pidgeot. which is pretty good for us. And then if they play Rotom V, you just pull that up later and knock that out with something like your Palkia, which also works really well. Or you just knock out a second Charizard later in the game. You can also use your Radiant Greninja to snipe out like Charmanders or something like that. So yeah, that's going to be game 3. Not really the highest quality of gameplay by our opponent, or like maybe the best iteration of the deck possible, but I think it did show some of the important things that can happen. Being able to have like the stadium in play, eat that damage from the first Charizard EX, which is only going to hit us for like 130, 180 originally, and even after the damage, so like they hit us for 180. Even without the stadium in play, we're reducing 30 damage from that, so we're only getting hit for 150. We get attacked a second time, we're still at 300 HP, so we're always ahead of the curve, essentially. Even if they have a Defiant Belt, if our stadium's in play, then that doesn't matter. So we can kind of just take the tank the damage early on in the game to get that kind of like prize trade lead. Then look up to pull up the Pidgeot, we just knock that out immediately. Pull up the Rotom V, we just knock that out. That works super easily. Or again, you can still live you can tank the hit of any one Blastoise or any one Charizard attack, even in the late game. So they knock out one of your Blastoise, you bring in another one, you hit them, they hit you back, you finish off the last prize. So it works out really well. The matchup into Charizard EX can be a little bit iffy. You kind of have to... Going first really helps and getting that kind of stuff, but it's super good. So yeah, definitely let me know what you guys think of the deck. I would recommend it. It's really fun. I think it's a better rogue deck than people are saying. I don't really see anyone playing it or kind of acknowledging that it even really exists, but I think it actually has an okay place in kind of like the rogue tier. So yeah, definitely let me know, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.